Hi, and welcome to a very special GEEKChow Christmas. That's right. Even though it's only our second episode, we feel entitled enough that we deserve a special holiday episode.
I'm super entitled.
Yeah. And we're going to be delving back into some of the classics of our childhood.
Yeah, Rankin Bass and Rankin Bass and some stuff that I put on here by accident.
And other Rankin Bass.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what Rankin Bass is, I'm sure most of you are familiar with things like Frosty the Snowman,
Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah. All those Christmas classics that were done in claymation or
stop motion. I think they're maquettes.
Oh, paper maquette. I see.
That's paper mache.
Yeah, whatever.
Papier mache.
The papier mechas.
Yeah. Paper robots.
That, I think we've just hit on something that could be gold right there.
Pay dirt. Just remember that if you use it, if you make super awesome fighting paper robots,
right?
Just credit us with the idea. That's all.
Yeah. Origami Gundams.
Origami Gundam. You know what? I'm gonna have to look it up after this, but I would not be surprised if that's a real thing.
Probably is. Anyway, back on track to what we were talking about.
Because Origami Gundams represent Christmas.
Yes. And I would decorate my tree entirely in those.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But,
fucking rad.
I'm just picturing like the Santa bot from Futurama now. Made out of paper sitting on top of a tree.
The robot devil.
Yeah, it's the best tree ever.
All right.
But Rankin and Bass did not have any robots.
Regrettably,
unless there was one on the island of Misfit Toys.
There's a gun that shoots grape jelly.
That's almost the same thing.
Almost the same thing.
Right. It's a transformer, really.
True. Little Megatron, Jellytron.
Yeah.
Wow, we are real off topic. All right. So let's start with Christmas. And when I think of Christmas, the first thing I think of is Mad Monster Party.
Right. Christmas monsters.
So I put this on here because I did poor research and didn't really read through enough, and I thought this was Rankin Bass's first stop motion special, but it's not. Actually, if I had even read the slide, it says from the creators of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman.
Here's what you got to think, though. This was actually released in theaters. It may have been their first movie.
Oh, maybe that's what I read.
But it's not their first stop motion special. Their first stop motion special was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Mm-hmm. And that was in 1964.
Right. This, though, had a lot of famous voice talent.
Yeah.
Monsters and dancing and, all kinds of 60s nonsense.
Boris Karloff and Phyllis Diller.
Yeah. Was it 60s or was it 70s? This
is 67.
67? Okay. Yeah. So, nothing to do with Christmas, but then again, Rankin & Bass did branch out and do a bunch of other holiday specials.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Cottontail.
Which we'll get into a little bit later, because I figured, why not just fucking throw it in there? Who cares?
Yeah. Everything's going in there.
So back to real life Christmas. So the one I always think of is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's the one I always remember the most. Well, no, I remember Rudolph the most, but who did we say that was? Fred Astaire?
Yes.
Fred Astaire is the mailman. This is always one I dug.
Yeah, and I mean, every one of them pretty much has a song attached to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what the song for this one is. It's probably Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Probably.
That's just a guess.
Just spitballing here.
Just spitballing. As educated.
That the entire, intro is the mailman delivering letters singing that song. But, that's not. Yeah.
As you can tell, I'm real prepared. This is actually the second time we've recorded this because everything got all kinds of messed up the first time. But that's okay because we screwed that one up even worse.
Right. Also, the next one we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, of course.
I think this is the one everyone remembers the most.
Everyone remembers it the most, and it was their first one.
Which is funny, because I thought it came years later.
No. It was the first one, and then they made it based on the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Despite the
Yep.
fact that, do they even sing that song during
Yes, yes, they do. Again, pretty sure it's like like the big finale scene
that? Hmm.
and the intro.
Interesting. No, the intro is Burl
I'm pretty-
Ives singing
right.
Holly Jolly Christmas,
Oh, that's right.
right? I don't know. Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. It's late.
It's late.
I'm
I don't
tired.
know.
I've decided that one of our hallmarks for this Geek Chow podcast is to do as little research as possible and just make shit up because it's on the internet, so who cares?
GEEKChow, the Wikipedia of podcasts.
There you go. We'll just make stuff up. Like, I don't know if anybody knows this, but the Bumble was actually played by Peter Mayhew, who was Chewbacca in Star
It
Wars.
was live action.
Live action.
Inside a suit.
Yeah, those Mad Cats are about 2.5 feet tall apiece.
Yeah.
All this is fabricated. I am making it up right now.
Yeah, the Bat Cats were fabricated too.
They were fabricated out of fabric. Oh my god, I gotta stop. All right. So, when I save these as pictures, they're really small, and I didn't realize until afterwards that this is a picture of all the toys.
Because toys are awesome.
They are awesome. We'll be doing this. We'll be doing an episode about toys eventually. Actually, pretty soon, probably. My mom has most of these.
Does she have Sam the Snowman?
Yeah, but like a lot of them got lost. I don't think we had the Bumble. And you know, not looking at these now, like all the toys are pretty good except for the little garbage raccoons. Look like somebody made them out of like Play-Doh.
Somebody made them out of garbage.
Made them out of garbage. Herbie's the only one I don't think that doesn't look. Herbie? I don't remember. Something like that. He's the only one I think doesn't look right. Everybody else looks pretty on point.
Well, I mean, he wants to be a dentist. There's nothing right about him.
He tells people he is a dentist, but he hasn't gone to dental school. He's just some hack. He's like the Dr. Nick Riviera of the North Pole.
Hi, everybody. You let me pull teeth?
But by the end of the movie, he's just pulling people's teeth out.
Yeah, the
And
Bumble.
people are letting him. I read some books. Oh, all right. That's enough reason to wait. No, it's not. You're not a doctor.
These aren't doll teeth.
Those are my real teeth. Did you use any anesthetic? No.
I was just gonna paint them back in.
Yeah, I made fake teeth out of all the broken toys.
You got chunky plastic teeth now.
Yeah, there you go. Enjoy. We made them out of all the misfit toys we couldn't sell for Christmas. Oh, that'd be horrible. All right, that's enough Rudolph. So then there's Frosty the Snowman, which is trash.
Right. Those kids just kicking him to dirt.
I literally can't stand this one. And I think
Thumpity thump thump thumpity.
look at Frosty go. I think the reason I don't like this is because, so we were saying before, the other day was they could have made this stop motion, but they made it animated instead, and I think I hate them for that.
Yeah, they already have a stop motion Snowman. It's like they couldn't pull Sam out of retirement there.
You know, fix him up a little bit, give him some legs, so he's not shuffling through the snow like some giant slug.
Because he did. That's how he did.
That was his main form of locomotion.
Right, slug motion.
Slug motion.
Yeah. This one, no, they give him feet, but then the kids just kick him off.
Yeah. And that's how we got Sam. Sam's just Frosty real old.
I hurt real bad.
He's like a Christmas veteran. Got no legs. Oh, it's terrible. All right.
Part of the member of the Salvation Army.
So this one's Jack Frost. I like Jack Frost a lot. Basically, he lives with like the snow sprites or the ice sprites or the ice fairies. I can't remember exactly what it is.
The Winter Court.
The Winter Court. Yeah, basically, he's a fae, and he wants to be human. So it's about him getting turned into a human and like spending time in Christmas and stuff with the rest of the.
Oh, it's the Ice Mermaid, the little Ice Mermaid.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty accurate. It is the little ice merman.
Merman, Pa. Merman.
So that's Jack Frost.
And that's all there is to say about that.
I was drinking. Leave me alone.
Who played him? I forget. It's somebody famous does his voice.
I'm sure he does. If you could see, I have the notes over here on my other monitor, and it is completely devoid of anything.
Right. Hold on.
Right. Anything. Are we checking?
Yeah. This is important.
Who was Jack Frost?
That's right. Sure.
Was it Shadow Stevens?
Yeah. No, I'm sure it was Michael Keaton.
Michael. Wait, are you being serious? I can't.
No, that's that other movie, Jack Frost, where he's the goddamn snowman.
Oh, I forgot that movie was a thing.
Yeah, as opposed to the horror movie one, which was also awesome.
Yeah, that was good. I always think of the Ginger Dead Man. With Gary
they're very
Busey.
close.
Oh, when I went to New York Comic Con,
Yeah.
I met the dude who's drawing the Ginger Dead Man comic.
One, I didn't know that was a thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I talked to that dude for like half an hour, 40 minutes. Because his
That's
movie, I feel
Buddy
bad,
Hackett. That's who it is.
Buddy Hackett's Jack Frost.
Yeah.
He was. Oh my God, what's the seagull's name in The Little Mermaid?
Scuttle?
Scuttle. He was Scuttle in The Little Mermaid.
He just did the same movie twice.
He did.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy talk.
Well, Jack Frost plays the alive snowman in the 1998, family movie, whereas opposed to, the other Jack Frost was played Scott McDonald, where, he's a snowman, a serial killer who comes back as a snowman.
I've seen that one. He melts in the bathtub and kills that girl.
Yeah, yeah. Well, after he, screws her with his, carrot nose.
Carrot. Well, it turns into his carrot penis.
Yeah, right. It's still his nose, though.
Back to Christmas specials for kids.
I didn't say for kids. I just said all Christmas specials.
You know what? That's true. We didn't.
Did not specify.
All
We should have had slides for all of these Jack Frosts.
We should have. So what is this? I can't. This is
That is Year Without a Santa Claus.
Year Without Santa Claus. I
Yes,
keep wanting
Snow-
it's called the Miser Brothers Christmas, but
That's the one that didn't exist when we were young and apparently exists now.
yeah, is a thing.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. So you got Snow Miser. His little Snow Miser-ers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's weird.
It's a whole song and dance number.
I think it's weird that there's a little version of himself, selves, running around. All right, so this is a Miser Brothers Christmas.
Right.
Which involves
weird stop motion animation that doesn't look quite right.
no, the little kid and like Santa and Mrs. Claus. They look like they're like those wooden dolls.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was all CGI.
I don't know. It looks like stop motion to me.
Yeah, but we've just got one slide.
Oh, that's true. Because we didn't do much more research than that. And I feel like this weird purple guy with a Jay Leno chin. I think he's got to be like the North Wind or something.
No, Storm Miser.
Storm Miser. Thunder Miser.
Thunder Miser is on the loose.
Thunder Misers. Hey, Rankin Bass made that too. I wouldn't be surprised if Jay Leno actually plays that dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're not showing anything, but there was a live action Year Without a Santa Claus. We watched a couple minutes of it, and it was bad.
Super bad.
Michael Keane, who was Squiggy on Laverne and Shirley. McKean.
Yeah.
Michael McKean.
Yeah.
Who now hosts Food Factor Fiction on the Cooking Channel. Was Snow Miser with like a long blue hair, which was gross to look at. Harvey Firestein, who's the brother from Mrs. Doubtfire, was Heat Miser, and I mean, I guess he kind of looked the part. John Goodman was Santa Claus. I don't know. It looked like it was a whole fiasco.
There was a boxing match at some point.
Was there really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't watch that far. Oh, so back to Santa Claus is coming to town. We've got ourselves the Winter Warlock.
Right. Winter Warlock is probably this is my favorite part of that movie. He starts off as this ice wizard that lives in the blustery north, and that Santa has to traverse his woods to go to town to bring toys to the children, and suffers his wrath for going through his woods. But Santa, soothes the seventh spirit by giving him a toy.
And they dance around and have a good time.
That's right. And so he's like, I don't know how to be good. And Santa's like, You just put one foot in front of the other.
And soon you'll be walking out the door.
Yeah. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing about, giving and, and that's usually how he gets out of most of his jams, just by giving people toys. I mean, honestly,
it would work for me.
Right. I wouldn't be mad at you anymore. I got a toy.
Yeah,
what do I care?
That'd be dope.
Well,
all right. So the next one we get to is my favorite Rankin Bass, which is The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, which is
I still refuse to believe this exists.
It's actually on like Daily Motion or something. You can watch the whole thing. So it's like Santa Claus. I'm pretty sure the young Santa Claus that we see here is played by J.D. Roth.
Don't know who that is.
Do you remember that game show when we were kids called Funhouse? I think it's called Funhouse. He was the host of that. He was a ginger kid guy. I don't know. I suppose that's irrelevant. But anyway, the story is
I believe
it starts off with the great Ack. I'll put these slides out of order, but whatever. Oh, well, here, we'll get to this first. So actually, this is written by L. Frank Baum, who wrote The Wizard of Oz, and it's based on that story. But to be more precise, there's the great Ack, who's like the leader of the wood folk, fey folk, whatever. And he calls this meeting of like all the other ones, like the wind demons and the queen of the nooks and all this other stuff. And he's basically like, it's one of the things.
Yeah, Queen of the Nooks and Princess of the Kindles.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Lord Amazon.
Lord of the Amazon Fires.
Yeah. Keeper of the Amazon Fire. So he basically calls everybody up. He's like, listen, this is Santa Claus's last Christmas. And like, it's Christmas Eve, so Santa Claus is out doing his business. And they're like, okay.
I'm sorry. No. Needless to say, it sounds like a mob hit. Like Santa Claus's last Christmas. I've gathered you all together because when he comes back, we're whacking it.
No, because he's old and he's gonna die.
Right? No, I know what you're saying. Like,
but so he gets everybody together and he basically tells the story about how one of the fairies that's sitting in that picture there heard about mortal babies and then kind of just found one like a day later.
A foundling.
Yeah, and was like, hey, I want to raise this kid. And everyone's like, oh, shit. So the great Act's like, well, you don't know how to be a mother, so I'm going to have Shiegra, Queen of the Lions, raise this baby with you.
Because if anybody knows about taking care of babies, it's lions.
Yeah. So Santa Claus is raised by a fairy and a lioness. Which is not a bad way to go.
Grow up. Got two moms.
Yeah. So they raise him and he grows up, and then Great X shows him like all the horrors of the real world. And there's like Japanese kids beating each other up with kendo sticks because they're being trained to be warriors, and Santa Claus is like, but they should play with toys. So basically the whole point of the story is that the Great Axe summoned all these people in the beginning of the movie to be like, hey, I think we should make Santa Claus an immortal like us. And then I won't spoil it for you, but they make Santa Claus an immortal.
I won't spoil it for you, but here's the end.
Yeah. So here's a little drummer boy. It's just a picture of the little drummer boy.
And you guess what we have up next? That's right.
Hey.
Another picture of that little drummer boy.
His eyes are closed this time.
He's busy parumpa-pum-pumming.
Yeah. This is I like this one. This is my mom's favorite Rankin Bass special. Oh, it might be her favorite Christmas special ever. I will say this, though. My David Bowie and Bing Crosby's
version of this song?
Number one Christmas Carol.
Yeah. It's the tops.
Yeah.
So if you've never heard it, go find it. It's on YouTube. There's even a whole little music video thing to it. Where was it David Bowie shows up at Bing Crosby's house?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other way around, maybe.
Sit there talking about music and classics and stuff.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So the next Christmas one is Here Comes Peter Cottontail for Easter. Easter Christmas. Easter's kind of the reverse of Christmas.
Oh, yeah. It's the spring Christmas,
Spring Christmas. Little Christmas, if you will.
Le Petit Christmas.
Le Petit Noël. L'Easter. I don't know how to say Easter in French.
Yeah, esoteric.
The main thing about this is it's a holiday special. It's made by Rankin Bass, And the most
And it's got Vincent Price.
The most important part is that Vincent Price plays Iron Tail, the bad guy. It's literally the same picture.
Only an app, though. That's an app.
Only an app form. All right, so this next one I didn't know was a thing. And when we were initially putting this together, Chris was like, what about the Irish one? And I was like, what Irish one? And I thought there was like a St. Patty's Day special. But apparently, there's the Leprechaun's Christmas Gold.
You know, because if you're Irish and you want to be made ruthlessly mocked during Christmas time, this is what you want to watch. Yeah. It's 25 minutes long and full of racism.
Do tell, Chris. Tell us the story of the Leprechaun's Christmas Gold.
Let's see. Something about a ship and getting a Christmas tree, and the kid's cutting down a Christmas tree, and he unlocks a banshee. Because, you can't kill a banshee. They can only lock it into a pine tree. Because those are the only two spells the priest can perform. Rainbow and pine tree. And pine tree is exclusively for locking banshees inside.
When you told me this, I thought you were just full of shit, like just making stuff up on the fly.
No.
You're like, no.
No, this is all entirely true. And the banshees want the leprechaun's gold. And if you're a leprechaun, there's only two jobs you can have.
Only two.
Cobbling shoes or guarding gold.
Like, why would you take cobbling shoes?
I don't know. Maybe they ran out of gold to guard.
Do you get to pick when you're an adult, or are you born into like one of two clans of leprechauns?
I would have to go with the second one.
Two families I could have been born into as a leprechaun, and I had to be one of the shoemakers.
Yes. Leprechaun shoemaker or leprechaun gold guarder.
Yes, son of a bitch.
Right, like, you don't even like get any cool, like, you're not like guarding treasure with like swords and stuff. You're just I don't know. You stand there and watch it.
Yeah, and then kind of dissuade people from taking it.
Right,
but not actually really stop them.
Right. It's like, don't touch. You're like a security guard without a gun, like.
or even a nightstick.
Yeah, you just don't touch. Okay, yeah. I can't stop you.
You're like you're like the fat lazy guy who dropped the remote on the floor and is like, I guess I'm stuck watching this.
I can't change the channel now. There's too much effort involved.
Yeah, I guess I'm stuck watching daytime soaps.
This gold's gonna stay.
So this slide, I have no relevance for any of this because I didn't see this movie. However, I thought this slide was pretty amazing because it's horrifying. Right.
Yeah. It's the banshee when she's trying to lull the kid from the ship to help her get the gold.
Fair enough.
Yeah, beautiful woman.
Yeah, beautiful.
But still crying.
Crying.
Because banshees can't stop crying.
With burning red eyes.
Yeah.
All right, so that does it for our Rankin Bass stuff.
Now on to puppets.
Yeah, if the Little Maquettes didn't creep you out, hopefully the puppets will. All right, so there's we'll get into the Muppet Christmas Carol in a little bit. We'll just touch on that. But this is by far, and hands down, my favorite Christmas special ever. So this is Muppet Family Christmas. This is basically the Muppets, from the Muppet Show, are going to go to Fozzie. I can never remember if it's his mother or his grandmother's house for Christmas, which is way up in the woods somewhere where it's super snowy. There's this giant snowstorm happening.
We'll say it's Grandma Fozzie.
We'll say it's Grandma Fozzie. And so they're up there, and Miss Piggy's in Manhattan or something, and she's running late. So the big thing is whoa, we got to wait for Miss Piggy. So she keeps calling every once in a while and talks to people, whatever. But the cool thing is that at one point they hear some carolers. And I don't remember if the carolers were stuck in the snow or if why weren't where they were supposed to be, where they live. I don't know. But the carolers were all the puppets from Sesame Street. So you've got all the puppets from Sesame Street, all the puppets from the Muppet Show, all enjoying Christmas holidays. The Swedish chef is throws out the turkey and is trying to cook Big Bird the whole time, which is pretty incredible.
His mom Emily.
His mom Emily.
Yeah.
But there's even cooler stuff
Whoa. Okay.
What?
Okay. Fozzie Bear is driving many of the Muppets to his mother, Emily's farm for Christmas. Unbeknownst to Fozzie, Emily Bear is preparing to go to Malibu for the holiday.
Oh, I do.
And rent her farmhouse to Doc and Sprocket. Doc and Sprocket have arrived when Fozzie and the other Muppets enter, disrupting Emily and Doc's plans for the holidays. More Muppets arrive, and they begin to prepare for Christmas. After the performance, Fozzie goes into the house where he tells Kermit about his new act. Miss Piggy's doing some shopping before she goes to the farmhouse. Carolers arrive, proving to be Big Bird and the rest of the Sesame Street Muppets.
See, that works out pretty well.
Yeah.
But so Doc and Sprocket are there. But then Robin feels all like left out for reasons I don't remember. So he finds a hole in the wall down in the basement of Mama Emily Fozzie's house, and like Kermit and Robin hang out with the Fraggles. Like, what? That's great. That's amazing. Like, it's just got basically everything that the Muppets did in one really cool Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's about an hour or so, I think, around there. It's one of the longer, some of them are like half an hour. I think this one's like 45 minutes, something like that. But if you've never seen it, dude, check it out. Like, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking at the song list. They pretty much go through every kind of carol that they got.
See? What else could you want?
And Jim Henson as himself.
Yeah, he's in it at the end. He's basically like sitting on a log or something as they pan out. It's like, did you have a good time? I know we did. Like one of those kind of things. This next slide is completely irrelevant because I thought when I was doing this that a Muppets Christmas Carol, I was mixing up a Muppet Family Christmas and Jim Henson's 30th special thing, 30th year anniversary special thing that they did like in the late 80s. Because I thought the Little Muppet Monsters were in a Muppet Family Christmas, but they're not. They're in that. These are the Little Muppet Monsters. They had a very short-lived TV show that there's only like 4 episodes of. They're pretty cool. I always wanted to see the show when I was a kid, and I never got to, but I watched it on YouTube like 2 days ago. So, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
This is a Muppet Christmas Carol. We didn't put too much in here. I wish I'd put more, but...
Yeah, I mean...
This is your jam.
This is my jam, and I mean, I feel like most people are more familiar with this, probably because, I mean, it was a feature-length movie, and has, since been played on network television a lot more than, the Muppet Family Christmas has.
Oh, yeah.
As a special. Like, it's, it's gotten extended airtime and everything. But I do feel it's one of the more fun and more, while still being pretty faithful adaptation of...
It really is.
Yeah, Charles Dickens.
Gonzo was Charles Dickens.
Christmas Carol.
Narrating it like how the Christmas Carol's kind of told from the third person, sort of.
Yeah. And, as a lamplighter.
Yeah.
Which I think is, was a nice, cool Victorian touch there.
Yeah. It is just a really good movie. I mean, this is the first Muppet thing they did after Jim Henson died. Mm-hmm. So, like, Kermit's voice is wrong in this. But... Yeah. I mean, it was a little harsh at the time, and I think I was really judgmental of it as a huge, huge Jim Henson fan.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of was harsh on it. I didn't watch it until years later.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bittersweet in that respect.
Yeah.
But they did do a good job of keeping the Muppets going as a thing.
Yes. Yeah, because they seem to kind of live and die now, like in waves. Mm-hmm. The one thing I will say about this that first of all, Michael Caine was an excellent choice for Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, very, very much so.
The only thing that I would say is even remotely disappointing to me about this, and it isn't that disappointing, just a little bit, is that usually in the Muppet movies there's tons of guest stars. Michael Caine is the only famous person in this, except for his nephew Fred, who isn't even really famous. But the guy who plays his nephew Fred was the Luck Child in Jim Henson's The Storyteller, the episode The Luck Child, Lucky.
I think, I mean, you gotta figure at this point in time, though, Muppets weren't that huge, and probably a lot of the budget for this went into production value, rather than able to get cameos.
I haven't even thought about that, but you're probably actually super right.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is the first movie that they had since, Take Manhattan?
Isn't the Great Muppet Caper last out of the original 3?
Probably, yeah.
I think it's the Muppet movie, the Muppets Take Manhattan, and then the Great Muppet Caper.
Right. And then there's probably how many years in between?
Oh, I don't even know. This is probably like, I think he died in 91?
And this was 92.
Okay.
Yeah.
He might have died earlier. He might have died in 89, I'm not sure.
Yeah, directed by Brian Henson, produced by Brian Henson.
Yeah. Who has taken up his father's mantle real well.
Yeah.
But we're getting into puppets farther than we want to.
Right.
Let's talk about this next gem.
Oh boy, boy is that special.
There we got, She-Ra and He-Man, or Princess Allura, or Prince Adam, and then we've got Blue Handbutt Dog.
Which really is the most important part of the movie.
Is Blue Handbutt Dog. So you were telling me that Skeletor's the hero of this one?
Yes! The Christmas spirit overwhelms Skeletor, and he actually winds up being the hero of the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special. He saves the two Earth children who get wrapped up in the wacky hijinks of
the Eternia and Etheria. Is that what she was
yep,
from?
Eternia and Etheria. But Orko and the misfired rocket.
Oh yeah, because Orko, they have this giant rocket ship. And
that's basically going to be a satellite and be able to like tell them about enemy attacks.
Yeah.
But Orko decides to jump in it and
start pushing buttons and stuff.
Yeah, and it flies away to Earth.
Like not even he just gets in it and it's like, oh, what are all these buttons doing? I'm gonna have a good old time. Oh no, the rocket's going.
Beep boop beep boop, and everybody else is like, oh, where's Orko? Yeah. Why is the rocket taking off?
And they don't. And that's a great thing. They don't put two and two together until like halfway through the movie.
Yeah,
they're like, Orko must have been on the rocket. No shit.
Yep. And they're getting ready for their celebration, which is something like
Christmas.
Right.
Well, their mother Marlena is from Earth.
Right.
So
she's like, all these decorations remind me of Christmas on Earth.
Yeah, because she totally sounds like that saxophone playing Owl from Sesame Street.
Yeah, I believe at one point she says you got to put down the ducky.
Well, you got to put down the ducky if you want to play the saxophone. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, and Prince Adam's just like, what the fuck are you talking about, Mom?
So that's pretty much all we have for the specials and stuff. But we here at GEEKChow have the word chow in our name, so we felt it only apropos to add some kind of food shiz.
Right. So we're going to be talking a little bit about Christmas foods. And I think that's one of the interesting things about Christmas, as opposed to like other holidays where you have traditional, you have a traditional meal.
Like Thanksgiving is turkey, Easter is ham.
Exactly. Christmas seems to be very dependent on your family and your personal traditions.
Yeah.
I don't think, for one, like, I know that usually, my grandmother on my dad's side, we primarily do ham.
Mm-hmm. That's what my mom's side of the family does the same.
Right. And then on my mom's side, it would vary. Sometimes we do turkey, sometimes we do ham. Just dependent on, what was, I guess, what they felt like or what, anybody felt like doing. But, sometimes, it feels like a mini Thanksgiving, like, since you've already had the turkey.
Yeah. Well,
so close.
I'm lucky that on my mom's side we do ham, like I said, and then my grandmother on my dad's side would make lasagna. That was like the Christmas meal was lasagna.
Right. Yeah, and that's usually like if the other thing too is like it depended on like with your family as well whether you'd have the Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve or whether you'd have it on Christmas Day. I know for a while because you do one family in the morning, one family at night.
Yeah.
Depending on who's spending time. Sometimes it would more be a Christmas like brunch.
Yeah, well, my mom's side of the family does all the holiday dinners are at 1:00.
And you just eat the once.
Yeah, and then there's like leftovers around like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. It's just that. I'm grateful for the fact that I have to ask my mom every year, are you doing ham for Christmas? Because there was like once or twice where she did turkey, and as far as I'm concerned, turkey is trash food.
Right.
I hate turkey.
You're a big non-turkey person.
No, I'm not a big bird person. Like
you're a big bird person. You're just not a.
I'm not a poultry person. I'll say that.
Right.
I'll eat. I enjoy duck. I enjoy fried chicken and stuff. Although, to amend that statement, I want to do a Charles Dickens Christmas real bad. Like I want a goose. I want chestnut stuffing. I want plum pudding. The whole 9 yards. One year, I'm gonna do that.
Also, one year I have to, cook a turkey and let you taste it, because when you do it right, it is completely different than the all the turkey years I've had turkey.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Since I've started cooking them, and uh, I have Alton Brown to thank for a lot of it. Is doing it, putting it in a brine, and then also deep frying it. It changes the way completely that.
What can't you thank Alton Brown for?
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. Thank you, Alton Brown, for everything I've ever done ever.
Yeah. It's
not even joking.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, putting it in a brine with various spices, and it's a vegetable broth with some cinnamon, allspice, and ginger, and then filling the cavity with apple and onion and sage and rosemary. It completely changes it.
Actually, that sounds great.
It's not so spiced that you're going full on to making it almost like ham tasting.
Or even like European curry.
Mm-hmm. But it's still very, very juicy and tender, and has, flavor more than just intense dry turkey.
Yeah.
Like you haven't put any seasoning on it, and you've just thrown it in the oven for hours. Yeah.
Which is fair.
I completely, having watched the Thanksgiving specials where they're talking about how turkey wasn't always a traditional thing, and it wasn't until that Saturday Evening Post that it became this
regular meal deal for Thanksgiving.
Right.
And all that
so
stuff.
everybody thinks they have to have turkey, and that you have to throw it in the oven for hours on end, and wake up at the crack of dawn to throw a turkey in the oven just to let it dry out.
But I mean, he cooks his turkey in an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And I imagine we think the brining and all that stuff for that.
Yep.
We're gonna get into some. You have some delicious. I can't think of the word. I was gonna say comestibles, but that's food.
Combustibles.
Imbibables.
Imbibables. Yes. When you're also talking about Christmas, you have to think about. You conjure up the images of carolers and drinking hot drinks outside, while caroling or wassailing.
There you go.
The wassail.
Which I believe, wassail. Also, real quick, because we weren't going to go into it too deep, eggnog is delicious, and if you don't like eggnog, it can't be your friend.
Right.
All right.
Eggnog's delicious. Also, drinks at the time of year like hot cocoa, which everybody at this point you think of hot cocoa, you think of the packs with the marshmallows and everything.
Yep.
Which they're not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's still no substitute for an actual cooking on the stove using real cocoa and mixing it with the hot milk. I mean,
I've done that before. It's so monumentally different.
Yeah,
it's so delicious.
There's some drinking chocolate, if you will.
Yeah. Drinking chocolate. I've just finished my chocolate bar.
Yeah. If you ever get the urge to do that, I would highly recommend it. It isn't too hard. You can find yourself a recipe online. The biggest thing to worry about is burning the milk. You don't want to do that too fast.
Yeah, no, scalded milk is pretty gross.
Pretty gross.
Like very scalded milk.
Yeah. If you go ahead though, and take your time and do it right, you're going to have an entirely different experience than the Swiss Miss.
Yeah, drinking chocolate. When you've made drinking chocolate as opposed to hot cocoa, it is a whole nother animal.
Yep.
But then what about mulled
wine? Much more luxurious.
Chris? Yes, it is.
What?
It's velvety.
And then what about what?
What about mulled wine, Chris?
Mulled wine. Well, I'm not too much of an expert on the mulled wine. I was more going to talk about the hot toddy.
Oh, the hot toddy. Mulled wine, as far as I know, is just hot wine with
spices. Yeah, a spice sack. A mulling sack, if you will.
Yes, mulled spices. Which you can just buy mulled spices.
Which, wine. I mean, if you're going to do that, you can do it with wine. You can do it with cider.
Yeah, mulled cider.
Anything.
But so the hot toddy, we both have stories about the hot toddy. Actually, you have a very recent story about hot toddies.
Yes, I actually made some hot toddies the other day. We decided that my friend was getting sick, so he was like, he wanted to get some Fireball whiskey. He's like, that always knocks.
Christ, why?
Exactly. That always knocks the sickness out. Man. Like, boy, you don't need that. You need a hot toddy. Uh, he's like,
Oh,
well,
go ahead, man.
and he's like, well, what? He's like, oh, I've had them before. They're not really that great. It's just, water and whiskey. And I'm like, oh, you're doing it completely wrong then.
No, that's not a hot toddy. So
that's not a hot toddy.
in my house growing up, if you were sick, my grandmother wouldn't give you NyQuil. She'd make a hot toddy, and it was like whiskey, sugar, cinnamon, red wine, and a bunch of other stuff. And my grandfather, who didn't get sick very often, got really sick once when I was very young. And my grandmother gave him this, and she made it real powerful. And he basically passed out for like a day. And then when he woke up, he felt fine. And from that point on, he renamed hot toddies into Kickaboo juice. So my grandmother, I was a little kid, and I thought it was a thing. I honest to God thought it was a thing. My grandmother would be like, "Oh, you don't feel good? Do you want a small glass of Kickaboo juice?" And I'd be like, "All right," but like, people were like,
damn right I do.
I'm 11. This is illegal. Hell yes. So we have Kickaboo juice. It's my knowledge of hot toddies. I mean, I've made them a couple times on my own because they are a nice like drink, like a hot punch.
Yeah, and I think that's another great Alton Brown episode where he's talking about punches.
Yeah, punches. I think punches need to be brought back.
And so, I mean, that's the basic recipe that I followed yesterday, but did make some amendments to it, as you do. So, basically, we just steeped a bunch of black tea, about a quart of it, and then, squeezed 2 lemons in there, about a half cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, tablespoon of nutmeg, and then a bunch of cloves into a lemon that we threw into the slow cooker, and then 2.5 cups of whiskey.
That actually sounds really good.
And it was outstanding. Yeah, I was really happy with the way it came out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of like a hot, spicy Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, for real. Actually, oh wow, that actually when you say I love Arnold Palmer's, man.
Yeah, and so this was probably the best that could possibly come out. So I was
super cool,
and I will be making it again.
You should make it when you come down for Christmas.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do it for us today for our holiday special. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Click like and subscribe. Comment. Let us know what you guys want to see, what you guys want to do.
Yeah, if there's anything you want us to touch on for our next episodes, I think probably our next one we're thinking about doing is we're going to do one on 80s and 90s cartoons.
Yep, and that's going to be at least part 1 of that because I found that to be really daunting finding all the information for that.
And then we'll probably also do one on toys coming up.
Yep, we'll touch on, there's going to be a puppet special all by itself, just puppets.
Oh, yeah.
Because we love puppets. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you guys puppets to the show, which will be weird and fun at the same time. I think
any topics you'd like us to?
Yeah, anything you guys want us to do, we can do. And I think we got an anime and manga one we might be doing, some other stuff, and we'll be doing solo stuff. Like I have How Not to Plays, because I'm bad at video games, but I like them anyway. Next How Not to Play. Which may come out before this. I'm not really sure. It's going to be DuckTales. Got that right there. I'm really bad at that game. I was bad at it as a kid. I'm bad at it now.
Except the moon level, because the music's awesome.
Yeah, it is. So there's all that kind of stuff going on. And if you
check
want...
out...
sorry.
Go ahead. You can check out me and Matt, my buddy Matt, doing some playing of... Full Mojo Rampage on our Twitch channel, The Infallible Truth. And check out our YouTube stuff. If you search on YouTube, The Infallible Truth, we're the one not affiliated with the church.
Yeah, I saw it the other day when I went to look up you guys. Because for some reason, I didn't think you told me that you were streaming on Twitch. I thought you were streaming on YouTube, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But I looked anyway, and I was like, The Infallible Truth, this is not what I'm looking for. You can find me. I stream mostly Blizzard games, Heroes of the Storm and Hearthstone. On at twitch.com or twitchtv.whatever/ZenEater23. And if you guys if you like what you see, you can visit us over on Patreon at www.patreon.com/GEEKChow. And I think that about does it for us today.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
See you next time.